2012, the City of Ballarat asked the Ballarat community how their much-loved Victoria Park could be better used and protected into the future. Through this conversation, the Ballarat community told us that there was a strong desire for an enclosed play space that was inclusive of people with a disability. Victoria Park presented as the ideal location for a regional-sized inclusive play space for a number of reasons, including its proximity to schools and public transport, its large open space, its existing amenities, and the provision of extensive accessible car parking. An inclusive play space enables children, parents, grandparents and carers of all abilities and ages to socialise and play side by side on the same equipment, in the same environment. It is not a dedicated playground for people with disabilities, but a play space designed for the use and benefit of all community members, ensuring full integration of children and families and improved community connections. The inclusive play space at Victoria Park was delivered by the City of Ballarat through a model of partnership with the Touched by Olivia Foundation. The first stage of the inclusive play space was completed and officially opened in March 2016. Now, 12 months on, the City of Ballarat is asking the Ballarat community what they like or love about the space, what can be improved, and what they feel must be protected and enhanced.
At the new playground at Victoria Park.
It accommodates all of them. I've got a 10-year-old, 4-year-old and 2-year-old.
And the idea of a playground where all kids could play together regardless of ability sounded just amazing. I hadn't even imagined it.
My mum loves it so much because it's a fenced environment where she can just go in and the kids just run off in whatever direction, but there's only the one exit point so she can relax.
Having the open space in the middle and having very open sort of barriers on the main play structure as well meant that pretty well anywhere in that playground you can eyeball your child.
You can take a ball, take a frisbee.
My 10-year-old loves the flying fox. That's the biggest hit. Actually, all of them do.
Well, what's your favourite thing?
I like that big swing thingy, those round big swings.
We take our ball and we take our scooters.
Esther's favourite part, probably right at the moment, are the spinny things. Not my favourite part, because if I ever get on with her, I almost feel like I'm going to lose my lunch.
The water, my daughter could live in that. Winter, summer, rain, hail or shine, she's there. She usually likes to strip all the way off and is in her undies.
One of the things I was really looking forward to with the opening of the play space was to be able to have Sarah's birthday party there. And what made that special was because we could take her onto the Flying Fox and she could go on that with her sister. We could put her on the carousel. She could play with that with her sister and her other friends and kids she'd never met before.
Fear of the spinner? Oh, that's
yellow
revolting. Yeah, I know. You like it.
Had the musical instruments and the drums, and those things work.
I love the fencing. The fencing's fantastic.
Things like the toilet facilities, barbecue facilities, and the water was always like a surprise and fantastic addition.
And then when it came time and she needed to have her personal hygiene looked after, we could go into the changing places facility and I could do that on my own with her. I didn't need help to get her out of her chair because the change table lowers far enough to do a transfer, and I didn't have to put her on the toilet floor or hide her behind some bushes somewhere in order to deal with her personal hygiene.
Yep. Sorry.
She likes to start at the top and ride down the hill and then all the way around the path, and yeah, it's really built her confidence up.
I do love play. I've never grown up, so I actually love playing with the kids and being somewhere where I can get on stuff without, feeling like I'm a little bit too large.
Kids can look out for each other as well in spaces like that. So when there is an organised play area where it's like someone has to have a turn and then someone has another turn, they can teach each other to look out for each other.
And, some of her friends from her school came along who also have disabilities, and they were able to play together. We could put 2 or 3 wheelchairs on the carousel, and that's something we've never been able to do in Ballarat before.
Parking's terrific.
I push them as high as I can. Even when they say, that's high enough, I just push it that extra bit to get the thrill on their face when they swing down. It's like, this is fantastic.
Older children love the flying fox.
Tati, I don't know.
An ideal space for lots of families to host events, so birthday parties, and you're not fighting for space.
There was a moment on the opening day when Sarah was on the nest swing and having a lovely time, and another family came up who I didn't know, and the father said, would it be okay if these girls got on too? And that was the moment that I realised that Sarah doesn't just get to play with her sister now, she gets to play with anybody. And these beautiful children said things like, oh, why has she got those things on her legs? And I was able to explain that, you know, she needs support for her legs, they're not that strong, and it keeps them in a good position. And they asked, why doesn't she talk? And I could explain that, you know, the messages just don't go from her brain to her mouth to enable her to do that. And so Sarah got social connection with people she'd never met before, and these kids learnt things about Sarah that they would never have had the opportunity to learn, and that was amazing. That was an unexpected joy that that was probably the moment that I realised just how special that play space is.
It's just great. I just love it. I can't talk highly enough about it.
I really love the open space in the middle. It would be great if that was a greener area all year round. Sometimes in summer it can get a little bit dry.
Now obviously with Sarah being in a wheelchair, trampoline isn't something she can access very easily, but a lot of her friends from her school have autism or on the autism spectrum, and for those kids that jumping motion can be really calming. And it can also help them sort of focus and concentrate a little bit too. So that's an experience we'd like to add to the play space.
My 10-year-old likes to play on the grass with his soccer ball, you know, maybe cricket or something, and sometimes it's a bit mushy.
My oldest child, Lily, who's 12 now, has always been a climber. Right from the word go, she just up anything. So it would be great to have some climbing device, whether it's a tree or whether it's a rope or whether it's something that, but also it has to be a decent height. Daphne does too. Daphne likes climbing as well. Yeah, thanks.
Like exploration of play, like natural play spaces is, I think, really valuable.
Things like having an area with a couple of little cubby huts where kids can decide, you know, this one's a shop and this one's a school.
Cabot over playground is so needed in Ballarat.
And my mum would appreciate some more tables and chairs. She's not so keen on sitting on the ground.
We need more barbecues.
What do you think?
I would like a tree house.
Tree house? Yep.
Probably more seating, I think.
Swimming pool.
Oh, yes, yes.
A climbing spider web type thing, because she loves that. That's one of her favourite things at playgrounds. There isn't one of them at the moment.
It just needs to be maintained and turned into, I mean, it's a fantastic asset in Ballarat, and it should just keep getting better and better and better and better.
It's the best space. It really is.
Do you want to go to the park later?
Yeah! Good day.
See? We'll do it a bit later.